And good Wednesday morning, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us this morning. I'm Maria Bartiromo, and it is Wednesday, August 2nd. It is 7 a.m. on the East Coast. Breaking news right now, new Facebook files revealing that the lengths that the White House was willing to go to try to control the COVID narrative on social media. Fox Business's Hillary Vaughn live now on Capitol Hill with this exclusive new batch of files. Hillary.
Good morning, Maria. Well, Fox Business has obtained internal communications between the White House and Facebook during the height of the pandemic. And some of these communications that we have obtained, we cannot air on TV. They need to be bleeped. The big takeaway here, White House officials had an F-bomb riddled face-off with Facebook, demanding they hand over more data on its users and asking for special tools to target users, all in an effort to get more shots in arms. President Biden's then digital director, Rob Flaherty, asking Facebook if government agencies could have access to more targeting tools, asking, quote, since it's a global pandemic, can we give agencies access to targeting parameters that they normally wouldn't be able to? This pandemic power struggle hit its peak as Flaherty and the White House's senior advisor for the COVID response, Andy Slavitt, joined Biden's digital director on a call where Facebook employees were berated by the White House for not turning over more data. Flaherty saying on the call, quote, I feel like we're running around in circles. Some partners give us lots of information. Some partners tell us to F right off. This feels like we're chasing our tails. If you don't want to give information, just say that. My dream for Facebook to play ball, it's about will we get out of this effing mess? I'm not doubting that you are sincerely trying to solve this problem in good faith. I'm doubting that you are telling us everything. After this blow up, Facebook delivered a data dump to the White House just days later in an email obtained by Fox. Facebook's then VP of Global Affairs, Nick Clegg, emails his team with an update saying this. He, meaning Slavitt, was appreciative of the data we sent through on Friday and confirmed that Rob F. Flaherty had said they have never received so much data from us before. The White House did not respond to our request for comment. Meta tells Fox what they handed over was from CrowdTangle, Meta's tool that analyzes public content on its platform, something the company has publicly acknowledged they shared with the White House. But these discussions contradict what the White House said at the time, that their engagement with social media companies was purely flagging misinformation publicly available on the site. These communications show they wanted a whole lot more from Facebook and were very angry when they didn't get it. Maria?
Hillary, what specific information were they trying to hide? I mean, were they hiding the origins of COVID coming out of a Wuhan lab? Were they hiding the risks that were apparent when taking a vaccine that was approved in 8 months? What kind of information specifically was the government telling Facebook to censor?
A lot of what they were trying to combat, Maria, was conversations about side effects around the vaccine. They were trying to combat vaccine hesitancy among users on Facebook's platform, something they said was a bigger issue on Facebook than on other platforms. So there was a lot of back and forth over how they could get targeted information to Facebook users that had expressed concerns about side effects, and there was a push and pull between Facebook and the White House over what tools they could give the government and what kind of information they could hand over to the government. And clearly, the White House was not happy with the level of cooperation, the level of information that they were getting from Facebook. But you really saw Facebook ultimately standing up to the White House saying, we can only go so far. At the end of the day, we have to protect privacy, and we also have to protect freedom of speech, the ability for people to question whether or not a vaccine is safe, whether or not there are side effects that come along with it. Maria?
That is just terrible. Hillary, thanks very much. Hillary Vaughn joining us.